extra now, 2 introductions. Did everybody have a good Valentine's Day? Yeah? I don't have to worry about romance because I am married. Yeah. No, every gift-giving occasion, my husband and I just look at each other and we're like, which of our appliances should we replace this time? Nothing says true love like a working dishwasher. I read, though, that this Valentine's Day, Americans were expected to spend over $1 billion on their dogs. I have 2 dogs, but I think we've gotten our love of dogs a little too far. I don't like it when people say, I like dogs more than I like people. When you ask them, like, why, they're like, well, dogs are so cute and they give unconditional love. And I'm like, when you say that, what I hear is, I'd like people more if they were more attractive and agreed with all my opinions. I don't think my husband likes dogs more than people in general. He definitely likes one of our dogs more than he likes me. This is a dog he didn't want. We didn't need another dog. She can do no wrong. We had a horrible incident this summer. We had a massacre of a nest of baby bunnies. Yeah, no, you'd think it sounds sad unless you're my husband. He's like, well, we don't know what happened. We don't know what those bunnies did. He has a special little song he always sings for her. Every time she gets up and stretches, he's like, ooh, good stretch. Honey, I've been doing yoga for over 20 years. You have never said good stretch to me. He's always asking her, are you a good girl? Who's a good girl? Are you my good girl? I'm like, babe, leaving aside the bunny incident, she also eats poop. So she might not be the most qualified to say who is and isn't good. I find a lot of the language around dogs confusing. People talk about fur babies. This doesn't sound like a pet to me. To me, this sounds like some old-timey carnival sideshow, like, step right up, see lobster boy and fur baby, and it's just some kid with a hormone issue. I don't know, people ask me if my dogs are adopted. I'm like, what is the other option? Do you think I gave birth to them? If you think I look like a bitch, just say that. Valentine's Day is just the tip of the iceberg of money you can spend on dogs, right? There's doggy daycare, specialty food, clothes. You can get DNA testing for your dog. Why? Like, if you discover your dog is part Russian wolfhound, are you going back to the old country? At least when you spend this money on kids, you have like some chance of getting some of it back. Not me, my daughter is studying theater at a private college. I will never see any of that investment. My husband's like, well, you can't complain, you have a degree in philosophy. I'm like, this is true, philosophy is not a big moneymaker. However, it does qualify me to know who is and isn't good, unlike the dog. My philosophy degree is from University of Louisville, Kentucky. I'm from Kentucky, which often surprises people because, like everybody else you've seen so far, I am Jewish. It's like y'all think we control the world media, but we can only do it from a major metropolitan area. I can't speak for all the members of the tribe. I have both email and Zoom, so I can run a conspiracy from anywhere. Being Jewish and being from Kentucky have some things in common. We have a lot of food rules. Jews don't eat certain foods, don't mix milk and meat. Kentucky, we have a food rule. If you can't fry it, you can't eat it. In Jewish culture, we have the concept of machatanim, and that is your extended family, your in-laws and your in-laws' in-laws and your cousins' cousins. In both Kentucky and Jewish culture, we also call that your dating pool. I grew up calling my grandmother Bubby, the Yiddish word for grandmother. Most of my friends had at least one relative whose legal name was Bubba. We both love our beards. The first time I ever saw ZZ Top, I thought they were Orthodox rabbis. I know somebody out there's like, well, actually, ZZ Top is from Texas, and it's true, but one of their guys is from Kentucky. And this is something else Jews and people from Kentucky have in common. We love to claim our people. Anytime you talk to somebody either from Kentucky or Jewish, eventually it'll turn into a weird game of 6 Degrees of Kevin Bacon. In case you were wondering, Kevin Bacon was in A Few Good Men with Tom Cruise, who is from Louisville. And he's married to Kira Sedgwick, who is Jewish. There you go. Yeah. It can be different, though. My first kiss was with a boy named Billy Bob Rosenberg. Billy Bob and I had our first kiss one night after cotillion. Now, if you're not from the South, you might not be familiar. Cotillion is sort of a society thing. You learn manners and you learn to dance. Jewish cotillion is just like regular cotillion, only they actually let the Jews in. At our cotillion, Billy Bob and I we learned the foxtrot, and we learned the waltz, and we also learned the Texas two-step and the hora. So I'm a lot of fun at a club. If you are only familiar with Jews, like in places like here in Chicago or New York or on TV, you might have a certain idea of what Yiddish sounds like. Where I'm from, it sounds a little different. Where I'm from, it sounds a little more like this. Rivka Lou, y'all better schlep your tuchus on over here. It is hot as all but Jesus out here. I'm schwitzing and I don't want to be late. Now, you know that is a total lie because the only thing a Jewish mother never worries about is being late. Jewish time runs about 15 minutes late, past whatever the rest of y'all have. Goisha time, I don't know. It's something else we have in common with people from Kentucky. They are also often late, but usually it's because it has snowed at some point in the past month and the roads still haven't been cleared and no one knows how to drive. I told my mom, I did my little accent for my mom, and she's like, Marta, it is a shonda for you to be up there on that stage saying that mishigas. You are giving me both the vapors and the tsaurus. My mother doesn't actually sound like that, but we were talking recently, and she wanted to tell me that she was buying the burial plots for her and my dad, because apparently the prices are about to go up. She wanted to know where they should be in relation to other relatives, because on the one hand, she wanted it to be as convenient as possible for me to visit, since obviously it's inconvenient now, or I would do it more. On the other hand, perhaps they should be farther away, because I seem to have gained some weight, so could maybe use the exercise. So if you're keeping track, we have buying things on sale, guilt, and body shaming. In Kentucky, we would call that a trifecta of Jewish mothering. Y'all, that is my time. To quote my husband, you're such a good audience, such a good audience. And to quote the shirt I wore in junior choir growing up, shalom, y'all.